too. Okay. All right. Yes. Is it the holiday week or yeah? I forgot it was actually. I was like wondering why things are so slow. It's like that's right. It's it's Satan's Christmas or something like that. Yeah, it's all these spells and everything going on. Of course, I've been clearing out siren energies and archon energies, so I'm all ready for the holiday weekend. Jeez. Yeah, and the ignorant will continue to be ignorant. So, dressing up in their costumes and they don't realize what the hell's going on there, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's another day I'm playing at high school. Yeah, if you don't believe it, well, just look at, yeah, even a lot of spiritual modalities, a lot of that's high school ideas, even those that are really old. Even old people act like they're still in high school. So, yeah. Why the hell we chose this, I don't fucking know. To give, yeah, a different point of view, I guess, for those that want to do something different with their lives. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean you can just eject from the planet, no, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be coming back here. I seriously doubt it. I guess there are some here that are still not sure about that, which is normal. It's not a bad thing. It's just, especially if you can come back here and prove and not be tortured to death. And this feels more like torture than it felt like anything else. Hopefully, I'm moving out of it. I mean, cutting cords like crazy with work and everything. That's been just yeah. Talking about work energy has been it's like a hurricane energy, just narcissistic, just meaningless garbage, basically. And hopefully, a lot of that's been cut away. A good portion of it. It's not fully dead, but it's I'm just disconnecting from it. But yeah, it's pretty parasitic. Yeah, you can only go. Yeah, so after this week, it's funny how it's Halloween week too. There's some. Yeah, it's very. It's yeah, that was all last minute too. So at least a part of the business is being cut down, which is good. Just cut the tail off from the creature. So, but it's just kind of funny how it's happened right before the end of the month, and this is Halloween week, and it's just good. You know, we go out from here, hopefully. Yeah, and yeah, the government shut down. Looks like that's going to continue even after into the new month. We'll see how that goes. They might do some things. They might do some funding for the food stamp thing, possibly last minute, maybe. Because that's going to be a mess. Well, we're sending out a message, you can say. It's going to be one hell of a message. Yeah. It does feel, I don't know what's going on with the news, but it feels like things are kind of quiet overall. I mean, things are, of course, going on, but I don't care about any of it. But I feel like there's, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It feels like it's just kind of a quiet, you give people give them a break. And the beatings continue after into the new month. Maybe Saturday and Sunday you get a day off. I mean, it is good. Some find fun here. That's good. Some of us have difficulties with that because they're kind of over this place. But we're here for a reason. Yeah, to bring new energies here, bring new insight and everything. And then take a beating for it. Yeah, seen as the bad guy and so on, but yeah, it's funny how they do this all this secret space program stuff. It's so secret, why is it all out there? That's just kind of funny. Documentaries about it and everything. It's like it's so secret. It's if it was really the secret space program, you wouldn't be able to make a documentary or anything on it. So you won't be able to talk about it or nothing. So it's not that secret. It's just some of this is soul entertainment or soul healing. Soul healing is an important part. If they're just making the wound even bigger, well then, whatever. There's a lot of that going on. Well, I guess some don't feel like they're getting abuse in other places, so they abuse themselves or connect to some other reality. Some entity comes in and abuses them, which can happen. Yeah, just kind of open up. Yeah, well, that's up to the individual. That's why you keep coming back here. So, yeah, clearing out one's demons is not as easy as it sounds. So, but it can be done. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I talk about. There's many spiritual groups, and they have a huge following, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's just a bunch of bullshit, basically. It's like People Magazine shit. So I stay out of that, but some of it's going on. So whatever. But yeah, you can see the high school energies of not adults, old people. It's just shows. Well, it's still kind of stuck in the past. Of course, it's easier. So they're going through their darkness, right? So makes sense, right? Going through like energetic puberty, you can say. Yeah, I did. Well, you have to go through what you got to go through to get to a higher level, right? Instead of calling everybody negative and everything, like you're better than them and all that, you got to get past that. Yeah, and a more neutral energy. There's always going to be issues you got to clear somewhere. It's like I know it's perfect, but it's always going to be something difficult. Yeah, especially when the impatient energies, obviously, and then you see it's tough. So, because especially when your energy gets stronger or gets more connected to the higher realms, the energy goes faster. And it doesn't mean you want everything to happen quicker, but you can see where there's room for improvement. But you just kind of go to the pace of society. That's the test, is to slow down. Not that you need to slow down, but you just keep your sanity. Like, yeah, clear out the impatience. Yeah, the impatience that's a hard one. Yeah, because society is usually moping around. Young or old, it doesn't matter. Especially when you're in traffic. Of course, there's those that are flying through, blasting through everybody, but I guess they're just on a death wish there for themselves or someone else. So, but yeah, I can. I'm not. The teenager energies. Yeah, for those that can see it. There's a lot of it out there. Not to judge, just to observe, and you can see it. And yeah, it's part of growth. So. Yeah, as for coming back and all that, like I said, it's just, we're in a strange, like history, feels like history went quicker, of course. I don't know, things were slow then too, of course, but yeah, it all depends. It depends on what you wanted to do here. Like this planet is like a I don't have a word for it, but what you want to create here, build here, something here, experience here. If you feel like you need it here, if you don't, you can walk away. But if you have a huge ego and everything, you think you're better than everybody, and you're just this super magician, whatever the hell it is, well, you can easily pull yourself back into this place, and you can be a egotistical psycho or whatever. And you can tell that some that are probably coming back here, but they're building so much karma for themselves. Those are the spiritual groups that have a huge following. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Well, especially when you can manipulate. They're going through their own crap anyway. They kind of, I don't know if you want to clear those ties. Some of them might want to. But who knows, whatever. Clear out those cords, and sometimes it's good to come back here to, settle your differences, but who knows? Everybody's different. who knows? Just have to just take it one day at a time and just try to get to some kind of self fulfillment somewhere, or at least work towards it. Try to do the best you can. You can't always feel fulfilled. It happens over time. It seems there's parts of this of the hurdle within have to get through. So yeah. Yeah, we're connecting to. Yeah, we're not trying to connect to the Archon and Siren energy. I am not looking for it, but it just shows, individuals here that have it around them. They're battling it themselves, battling their own Siren energy, using others or whatever, the dark side of it, whatever. Use it as protection, whatever it is. Even the Archon program here, of course, obviously you're here as a, you have to go through certain experiences. You want to live something, you got to start somewhere. You can't just totally disconnect from, you have to, it's like you choose your adventure, basically. So you have to, when you incarnate, you have to have a starting point, and then you can evolve out of that wherever it goes. So not to be a victim, or if you have to be a victim, then once you're ready to release that, or to self-pity and all that can help but a lot of this is also like chess. I mean, not just your incarnations like chess, but you're kind of playing chess. Like with technology, like recently, sometimes it doesn't work in some areas, and you have to kind of find a workaround. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah, in this awakening, you start to see, the inner conflict is not that easy to clear, and some are just, it's more of an excitement than reality. So I haven't quite found a way to transmute it to a bit more, calmer frequencies. But anyway, internal war is can be cooled down, but you have to get to that point, of course. So, but patience is probably one of the biggest tests here, one of them at least. Especially when you go through the spiritual awakening. So it's not that you're slowing down, it's just that you're, trying to stay with the crowd. You can say, well, what was in your freaking mind? Like with the alien disclosure stuff and all of that. Instead of trying to force something that might not even happen or whatever, you just kind of, it's like a plant that has to grow. You just sort of grow with it instead of trying to, grasp at something that's not there. You grow, you just go with the growth, you go with the flow of life. Going with the flow is probably the main, it keeps coming back to that. And just find some inner peace, whatever, if it's even possible. Well, when you get energy attacked, hard for that. I mean, you can do that, but it's like, shit. Go hug a tree or something like that. So anyway, okay, to Syrian, the canines. I haven't connected them like ever. Not the canine energy. I've connected the Syrians, but not the canines. I feel like the canines are should be something of a good laugh there. We'll see. Okay, all right. Okay, blessings. Here we go. Greens of a Syrian canine race. It's the dog people. We do look like a human, but we do have a lot. There are, of course, societies that look like a canine being, and it's not. It's almost like more raunchy in your reality, actually. Depending. Yeah, it's like a cartoon. But either way. We're focusing more on the human experience here, not to branch out to some other reality where it does not really connect. Yes, to heal mind control, to break out of there's actually the insect race has kind of a controlling system or mind control. Obviously, we don't have like an example here. Uh, but there's yes, sort of like yes with the fly, you know, some flies can be mind controlled and things like that, and you're experiencing just all these different species and their, you know, programming, and you're yes you go through it, but also you disconnect from it at some point. Of course, animals have the same type of, but insects do have a lot of control onto them, which is no real example of that, really. Well, it goes into archon energies, but well, you can say insects. So, like we see their jobs, right? The ants, for example. You have a canine being talking about ants. We see how ants are. They're in a line. They're doing their thing. They're being workers. And so, so you say a lot of mind control experiments from other alien dimensions were used on insectoid beings, where we're getting at. This is where we're coming from, where we're trying to, our point. So it doesn't mean you have to go too deeply into that, but you can, there's not a whole lot of information. You can look at how different species, how they operate. Obviously, you don't have to see it as a, but also, they're part of the workers of the building blocks of your society too. But once again, like an insectoid being has to go to work just like you. Of course, you also have the squirrels and other animals that are constantly scavengers looking for food and all that. So they're part of also. Of course, they're having a blast though. I ant beings, but like insectoid beings, they just do it because they're programmed to do it. It's part of their nature, their habitat. They don't feel like it's programming at all. It's just what they're here to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But some, you can say some do break out of that. Also similar to like your animal kingdom, your, animals acting like humans, things like that. They're breaking out of their habitat, you can say. There are some, sectoid energies aren't always have enough soul energy for that. Some do. But yeah, there can be insect NPCs, basically. Spiders are not likely, some can be, a lot of them have a more individual soul. Without going to the whole insect community. Hornets can be very also kind of similar and they're just doing their thing. Bees too, but bees bees are part of, they feel like they are kind of like angelic beings, if you think about it, because, you need the bees part of your society, right? So they're assisting, so they don't see it as mine. You don't have to see it as that. It's just something to give back to creation. So not all insect beings feel they were being controlled. Just like I said, it's part of their. But it kind of gives you an idea of the mindset that comes in, and and this is why humans here are a part of the system. They feel like they need to be like they need to be this character, this the clog in the machine. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because especially have certain skills here, and everybody has certain skills. You can have social skills. You can work at a fast food restaurant and have social skills, and you're just there to chill everybody out. But they feel like this is but this is part of it is kind of still overall program of this world. And as you start to evolve slowly, you don't need all these elements to create where you have today. It sounds strange there, but yeah, it won't be the same Earth. Let's put it that way. Evolve out of it. It still exists the way it is, but you evolve out of a world that's less. Your energies are more, say, bee like, like the bees, and just energetic, and it is like that already if you have a certain role here. But it's just basically you're pollinating this reality. But some are still learning, they're still students of this world. So how can you pollinate something when you're still trying to figure this place out? It's like you're not all out there building skyscrapers. You're at school or somewhere else trying to figure this out, figure out emotions, whatever you need to figure out, and that's quite all right. So yeah, so this is obviously building blocks of the soul, heavy blocks. And yes, of course, the dark side is here because it's just kind of like a companion. It's warning too, and wanting to refine itself, but maybe dilute, just to cool itself down to, yes, more of just a core frequency. Even the archon being, there's always going to be darkness, obviously. But, for this world to have more, yes, fun here, but maybe fun that, fun is a weird word because, as some of you know, fun isn't always, especially drinking and destroying yourself. Some find that fun, and there's a lot of that here. So all that fun doesn't really go everywhere. It's like, that's not that kind of fun. It's like it's hard to find any fun when the ideas of fun aren't that great. So, or yes, going to an expensive vacation and everybody's miserable. See, or some find that fun, or it's definitely some soul growth there. Well, something like that, well, doesn't mean they learn this, but you can find out what's more important. Vacation with the family when everyone's ready to pull each other's hair out. Or you find just, your company, or discover, if you want, or you just discover you're just around a bunch of scumbags, there's that. But also you can discover maybe a new relationship with your family member or whatever it is. So, it's, it's like you're in a jungle, technically. And it's a wild kingdom, as you can see. But over time, you just become more, and, what do they call it, matured in some ways. It all depends. Not everybody has to have that, but definitely the eyes open more sometimes, more clear. Sometimes some just get more lost as they get older. Well, because they like the younger years better. And as they get older, they kind of forget everything, go back to being a kid again, as some of you have noticed. But it's more fun there, even if they're being lazy and all that. Life as a teenager. In adult years, yes, it does exist. So the lost energies, that was a lot of confusion, and that one's for another day, after us. But for the Syrian human, this place is more complex than other worlds, because you brought in more darkness, but also more more complexities. You have so much to deal with here, economics, relationship, and you have everything. That's just, and nothing's ever really concrete. The bridge is always about to blow down. Always a possibility of it. Doesn't mean it will. You see the nature here. So you just have all these elements as you can see, coming in from all sorts of places. Doesn't mean you have to experience them all like that, but some feel like they need to. It's like they're in they live in a tornado town, and it's like, sometimes they can dodge it, but the tornado energy is there. Is just, once again, what's important? Is it your things that are important, or is it the people that are important? You'd be surprised how many see the people are important, and socializing and all that is the care of others and all that, especially when all their things get blasted away. That's one example. There's so much here, as you know. So this is kind of like a jigsaw painting, a game that is multiple games at once. Doesn't mean you have to be part of the hurricane of it constantly, but there's just to give you just a definition, just so much coming at you. It's hard to see things clearly. Why? How can you? There's just so many are confused. Yeah, confusion frequencies, energies here. It's just full of worry. Not all, but there is always going to be some. The teenager energy. Well, some feel like they need kind of that. They want to go back to the kid energy, or just the fan, because it's also memories of the higher dimensions, like with the mythologies and things like that. The escape, because you're remembering other. Not that you're focusing on drama, but just looking for escape from all of this clutter. You're still clutter in your mythologies, fiction, but you're also like solving a mystery of your existence. So, and not everyone's ready for that, but some are. You get little details here and there. There's much more, of course. That's what we feel on passings.